Hi everybody, this is going to be my review of Doomsday Clock. Cue the intro. Hi everybody, this is going to be my review of every Doomsday Clock issue, but I'll try to avoid spoilers. So I have the first issue here, and it's the one where with the lenticular cover, and Rorschach's mask is changing from the one where he's in the bar from issue 1 of Watchmen to the one with the Trinity logos. So you can read the first 6 issues in the trade paperback, and it's about the in-universe reason for why the new 52 happened, and then Jeff Johns is trying to explain why Rebirth happened. And Rebirth, right, is bringing back what was meant to bring back things that were missing from the new 52, namely the Superman's family and like the connections between characters, the Justice Society, and the Legion of Superheroes, which obviously Brian Michael Bendis has brought back recently, even though they were very modern, they were more diverse. So here I have issue 7. Now issue 7 is definitely my favorite issue. I really loved the first opening page because here I'll try to show it. Okay, so here's the first opening page, and I remember reading this before school. I think I got about like halfway, and then I had to go to school. But anyways, I was thinking about this all day during school, right? And like it's just really great. So first it opens up with a narration, and it talks about Alan Scott. It talks about the Justice Society, and it was the first time since in Rebirth, I think, since Rebirth and the Button. It was before Scott Snyder brought them back in his Justice League run. So I was like, wow, it's Alan Scott. And then I realized that the narration was blue and there was Dr. Manhattan. Like Dr. Manhattan knows DC continuity. He's read DC Comics because he's, lived. So that really blew my mind and I was super excited. And then of course, this is the first time that Dr. Manhattan shows up like this. I remember this. They use cubes, or they use squares, and then towards the back, I think they use squares again, which is new, I think. And then of course this is a turning point, right? The first 6 issues built up the story, exposition, all that, and then this is where the first conflict comes in, where Dr. Manhattan sees Superman's fist coming towards him, and then he sees nothing. And then, to top that all off, you have Bubastis. Now, I thought Bubastis was going to be very important, and technically she was. She caused or spoiler alert, she was the one who caused the explosion in issue 8. Remember when Firestorm exploded, and everybody thought Firestorm was a bad guy? Or it turns out, then they thought that Dr. Manhattan caused the explosion. We know it turns out that Bubastis was the one who caused the explosion, and Ozymandias was using Bubastis, or wanted the superheroes to go attack Dr. Manhattan and incapacitate them and take them out of the picture. But here I have Rorschach beating up Joker. That does happen in this issue, and you can see Batman standing there and watching. And I also like that it's 12, looks like it's 12 o'clock. But this issue 7, the glare, it's also the 11 o'clock issue, which is a very common motif in Watchmen. So moving on now, here I have issue 11. I read this, I got back from college yesterday, and I read it. yesterday night, or maybe I read it Monday. No, I read it yesterday. And here we have the Creeper, right? Very cool. Now it opens up with Batman throwing some nuclear. They're trying to launch some missiles. The DC universe here, they seem to have nukes, but they also seem to have superheroes. So, but obviously there is like the superheroes are fighting, and then we have uh, uh, Alfred tries to contact Reggie, and then Reggie here is still hung up about Ozymandias tricking him, so there's always that. And then they have this, then they actually erase Saturn Girl from continuity, because you know Brian Michael Bendis brought back the Legion of Superheroes, and she looks different, she has a different haircut and all that. So clearly Jeff Johns either knew this or he did this on purpose, and yeah, the old version of Legion of Superheroes disappeared. And then at the end, Superman confronts Dr. Manhattan, as we know it was going to happen back in issue 7. And then I like this. I really like this because here you have the infamous picture that Dr. Manhattan is always carrying around in Watchmen. And then on the next page, like, wow, look at this. It's like 10 of the same picture. And you have to, I really admire that. They went, the DC editorial went out of the way to make these photos look realistic. Look, you can see the tears. And not all of them look the same, I think. Like some of them have different tiers, and this one here looks like this. But this looks very good. Gary Frank did a really good job drawing this picture, and they did a really good job creating it. And Amy Brockway Metcalf did a great job designing this. Oh, and even this. This was very strange. It's like those Heroes in Crisis covers where it has an impossible picture. Like, how could there have been a picture right here taking a picture of that cover of the Flashes trying to save this guy? But why are there so many pictures? You have to buy the book and find out. Go to your local comic book store and get it. Issue 11 is really kind of, honestly, issue 11 is, I did hear that issue 11 has a lot of exposition. It has a lot of recap. It is the penultimate issue. It has a lot of Ozymandias explaining his master plan, similar to when he did it in Watchmen issue 11, you know, where with the white cover. But now, what you've all probably been waiting for, issue 12. So here I go. Okay, so here's issue 12. It's extra thick, so it has a lot more or slightly more pages than the other issues. It was $5.99, and then on the back I forgot to mention last time. Sometimes you think it's blood, but it turns out it's actually Superman's cape. I kind of wish it just went to the bottom, you know, the back was just red. But oh well. So I got this cover, okay. The first panel is of Superman bleeding, but here I got the Dr. Manhattan cover. It shows the two possibilities. Does he destroy everything, or does Superman destroy Dr. Manhattan? Oh, you got the answer to that in this issue. So you've probably seen the previews. Let's see. So I like this speech that Reggie gives. So Alfred finds Reggie, and they're talking, and Reggie makes a point. He's talking about how Ozymandias used him, Byron Lewis used him, you know, the Mothman. Like, he's been a puppet this whole time, and now he doesn't. He's lost hope. Basically, he's been used, and he doesn't know what's right, what's wrong, what's real, what's fantasy. He sees no future, he sees no hope, and obviously Superman is a symbol of hope. Oh, this is a great page. I turned the page and I was like, wow, oh my gosh. There is one more splash page like this in this issue. Go out and buy it, and you will be very pleased that you bought it. I like this guy. I've never seen this guy before. It's like a Metal Man. He's like Japanese Metal Man. Because this reminds me of the sun, but I love the coloring. Look at this. It looks very metallic. You can see Gigantra in the back. Oh, there's Chinese Superman, the Chinese Superman, which appeared in New Superman, written by Gene Yang. There's the Animal Vegetable Mineral Man. Comment below if you see your favorite superhero. I do not know. I think they're mostly international heroes. It's interesting that they're all fighting in America. You can see the one of the government buildings there. But yeah, this guy really stands out. Like, whoa, this guy I've never seen before. So then, I don't want to spoil anything important, but I will show one thing. So everybody thinks Superman fights Dr. Manhattan, but in reality, Superman oh no, he punches through Dr. Manhattan's head. No, I'm kidding. He misses Dr. Manhattan. So you have to find out why. And so like Superman here inspires Dr. Manhattan to change. All throughout Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan was always this bystander, very passive. He never did anything. But Superman here has inspired him amazingly through the course of 7 issues. Superman here has inspired Dr. Manhattan to finally do something. So Dr. Manhattan, you know, brings back the 2 groups you've always wanted to be back. Legion of Superheroes and Justice Society. I mean, they've been back. Brian Michael Bendis brought them back. Scott Snyder brought them back. But now I guess this is also a reason why they're back. Dr. Manhattan stopped screwing around with the DC universe and allowed them to come back. So those 2 groups come back, and they're the new the Legion of Superheroes is the new diverse version. And then there is there's very major speculation about what is going to happen in the DC universe. And one thing I hate is that CBR and Bleeding Cool have spoiled it. They've spoiled it all over the internet already, I'm sure. And simultaneously, comic writers and artists are complaining about piracy. Now I try not to show too much in the comics I buy, but those internet websites out there, they spoil everything. The wikis spoil everything, and the comic fandoms or whatever, and Wikipedia spoils everything. I mean, why do you think the comic book industry is losing money? Why is it going downhill? Because there's these websites, shill media, that's spoiling everything, and they're making customers read online, and then they don't feel the incentive to buy them. So I'm telling you, you have to go buy this. DC does not do a very good job of promoting the books, but this book is a really good. Well, it's a pretty good end. It's certainly unexpected. I did not expect the ending. I'll show you another spoiler. So there's an entire page of black. So what's going on? I kind of expected this to happen. I mean, honestly, it's low key a waste of paper, but there's very little ripples. I mean, technically you can kind of see the ripples, but so this is obviously okay. So Dr. Manhattan does something. It's black, and then it's black by. So one thing here is that when here it's black. This is the previous page, page 21. But here you can see time is speeding up, speeding up, speeding up. And darkness, and then continued darkness, and now things are coming back. Things are coming back, and then there is something here. So what is this? Is it the Anti-Monitor's eyes? We have to buy it to find out. So that's my review of Doomsday Clock issue 12. I do think the ending is a little strange. It's very open-ended. I'll show you guys. So the title of this issue is Discouraged of Man, and then the quote here is, "Every child comes with the message that God is not yet discouraged of man," by this person. And then it's down. So here you see every child. Okay, so child, maybe there's something to do with children, but also children are innocent. They're very they're similar to how Superman inspires hope. So a child inspires people, namely God, that there is still hope for man. So I think this is supposed to parallel how Superman inspires Dr. Manhattan to save the world, both the DC universe, and he also goes back to Ozymandias' world and saves that world too. So here you can see all my issues of Doomsday Clock, proof that I really do own all 12 issues. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you thought about this video, and if you've read Doomsday Clock, and if you're excited about what it means for the rest of the DC universe going forward. Thanks for watching. Bye.